Did you know that Vatican City is one of the wealthiest states in the world? Yet its wealth remains a closely guarded secret? It's one of the world's smallest country, but might just be the richest. No exports, no taxes, and yet whispers of secret gold vaults, billion-dollar banks, and shadowy financial deals echo through its ancient walls. Vatican City, sacred to billions, feared by auditors and shielded by sovereignty. But here's the question. What happens when the Pope becomes CEO of an empire with global assets and no shareholders? Join me as I dig deep into Vatican City's wealth secrets and see if I can uncover the truth behind their riches, a country that sells no goods but owns everything. You're about to enter a world where faith meets finance, and not everything is holy. Vatican City has fewer than 850 citizens, no economy, and no tax revenue. It owns castles in Switzerland, skyscrapers in London, and a global bank with a history shrouded in scandal. With only 4,800 employees, fewer than some McDonald's franchises, but billions under control. This tiny city-state runs a global network of museums, real estate, donations, and assets, protected by spiritual immunity. Its revenues don't come from factories or trade. They come from something far more powerful, which is donation from people. And later in this investigation, you'll discover how money donated to feed the poor was secretly funneled into a luxury apartment deal in one of London's wealthiest neighborhoods. Is the Vatican Bank a shadow wealth or holy trust? It's known officially as the Institute for the Works of Religion. But to insiders, it's simply the Vatican Bank. And it may be the most secretive financial institution on earth. Vatican Bank was founded in June 1942 by Pope Pius XII. Its mission was divine. But over decades, it's faced accusations of fraud, embezzlement, and even mafia ties. In 2023, the Vatican Bank quietly managed $5.9 billion in client assets, with only a handful of people knowing where it all came from, or where it goes. And that's not paranoia, that's history. Because for decades, this bank has been at the center of scandal. Money laundering, mafia connections, missing millions. One former Vatican Bank president was charged with embezzling $50 million through fake investments. In 2022, Pope Francis issued a surprise decree. Every Vatican department was ordered to move their money into the IOR, centralizing power in one place. Now, Vatican officials claim the bank is clean and that transparency has improved. But here's the thing, even the Vatican's own watchdogs like ASIF still receive dozens of suspicious activity reports every year. But something shifted. In 2024, ASIF reported 79 suspicious activity reports, down from 123 in 2023. And the question no one dares to ask out loud: what if the scandals never stopped, they just got smarter? It began with charity. Coins dropped into a collection plate, small sacrifices from the faithful, known as Peter's pence. Intended for the poor, for disaster relief, for those who had nothing. But in 2014, those sacred donations took a sharp detour. Straight into a luxury property deal in London. The Vatican spent hundreds of millions on a building in one of the world's richest postcodes, using funds meant for the desperate. The scandal exploded, courtrooms lit up, headlines screamed betrayal, and for the first time in centuries, a cardinal stood trial inside Vatican walls. Documents were seized, bankers were investigated. Even Pope Francis had to weigh in, calling it a grave mismanagement of money. But here's the part that no one could answer. Who really authorized the deal? And how many more deals never got caught? They say every empire needs oversight, checks, balances, accountability. But in the Vatican, those lines blur. The Vatican isn't just a church, it's a state. And that makes its finances immune to public scrutiny. Behind those sealed doors, billions move, with only a handful of men truly in the know. Which raises a final haunting question. If transparency depends on trust, what happens when trust disappears? In the heart of Rome lies a contradiction. A city of faith built on wealth. A church of God, with billions in assets. For centuries, the Vatican has walked a tightrope between spiritual mission and financial survival. The Holy See funds charities, shelters the poor, and preserves some of humanity's greatest art. But it also owns prime real estate, runs a private bank, and holds investment portfolios that rival small nations. But questions still linger in the dark. Are secrets still buried? And can one of the smallest country on earth continue to carry the world's spiritual burden while balancing its books? One thing is clear, this is more than religion, it's power. Please subscribe to Money Dominion for more truths they don't want you to know. And watch closely, the next scandal may already be unfolding. So now that you've seen behind the curtain, we want to hear from you. Do you think the Vatican should open its financial books to the world? Or does secrecy protect something bigger? Drop your thoughts in the comments, we're watching closely.